Hi, I'm Brent Knight. I'm the president of Intuitive Safety Solutions, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video and also welcome you to the ISS family. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you're going to work for ISS, and we really appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting you personally. This video kind of serves as an introduction to the company, our expectations, a little bit about our policies, and a lot about our internet site, Oz. I want to really cover that in detail with you today. The nice thing about this video is it's available for you to watch at any time so that you can kind of refresh and update yourself if you forget something. So the first thing I'd like to do is kind of talk a little bit about our policies and expectations. At ISS, we've tried to become very systematized, and we've built policies around our client expectations as well as industry best practices. And these are documents that we send out to everybody, and expectations are covered in your deployment meeting with Corey and Melanie. So it's really important to emphasize how important those are. If you have questions, refer back to them, and you'll see a theme of communication in this address in this video. And we encourage you to ask questions if you have questions, whenever you have questions. I want to talk a little bit about ISS core values. When Melinda and I started ISS back in 2007, we were exiting a partnership in another consulting firm, and we realized that we really wanted to be something different. We had goals to be the best safety company in America and the best employer for our employees. And we worked hard to achieve that in the last 15 years. So some of the core values I think that matter most to us: number one, respect. I think it's key that we respect everybody. And when I say we, that means everybody from myself and our core office team to every person we have working for us in the field. It's so critical that we show respect for other people. Now, we realize that that's not always going to be reciprocated by somebody else, but how we handle things is what matters. We can't control what other people do or how they react, but we can control how we do. So I think it's really critical to emphasize the importance of respecting everybody we work with, even those who maybe don't respect us all the time. Secondly, leadership. I think it's critical in the role that you'll be working and that we all work in, that we exhibit strong leadership. And leadership means influence, not control, not authority. So it's important that we can influence people to make decisions and choices. And that's a good indication of strong leadership and really important to success no matter what you do. Thirdly, performance. Performance matters. I mean, how we perform in the field, how we do our job, client satisfaction, it's extremely important. And the reality is in this industry where we have transient traveling safety professionals, construction managers, job security is a big deal. It's a big concern. And performance is the key to that job security, which we'll talk about in a minute. Finally, integrity. Now, integrity can be discussed in many different ways, but for me, when I mention the word integrity, I think what matters most is to realize that we're all given choices. We have to make choices in a given day, and we carry ourselves in a certain way. And at the end of the day, every single day, we should be able to look back and say to ourselves, I didn't make any decisions I regret. I didn't do anything that I regret. And that there is integrity. So I want to emphasize how important that is. And we're here to coach on these things: respect, leadership, performance, integrity. They are core values that matter a lot here at ISS. One of the things that we've set out to do, and we understand that we're in a space where people come and go between companies, but we do want to hire for keeps. We put a lot of effort into finding you. You put a lot of effort into qualifying and going to work for us. And our clients put a lot of trust in putting you out on their job. So the reality is that that performance piece matters so much, because if we find a good fit and we're a good fit for you, and we put you out to work for the client, and the client's happy, it's a perpetual cycle of success and performance. And that leads to the next topic, which is job security. So often people are worried about job security. And I know we have safety advisors who have been with us 10 years or more. And the reality is they perform at every level on every job, and the clients want to keep them and move them from project to project. So you develop your own job security. And granted, the benefits of being a traveler, getting paid overtime, per diem, there are a lot of upside benefits that you don't get when you're at home every night making a salary. At the same time, you know, that consistency and the stability of having a job at home is great too. And, people go through cycles in their life where one works better than the other, but job security is a big topic in our industry. And the reality is you have to understand that you do control that. And we will do everything that we can in our power to keep our people working all the time. That is our goal. Finally, we're here to support you, our entire team, from talking with Marna and Abby early on in the process, all the way up to me and everybody in between. It's critical that you know that we're here to support you, and we all have an open door. We want to talk to you about anything that comes up. Chain of command can be tricky, but I would say, run most things through Corey. And as you start to build a relationship with him, he'll set you up with the different people you need to talk to for different things. Now, I want to get a little bit into expectations, and then we'll talk about our internet site, Oz. Our expectations are communication, trust, integrity, and building relationships. So let's start off a little bit with communication. Communication is the key to success in anything that you do. And we find oftentimes that people silo, they have information that they don't share. And more often than we would like, little things can turn into bigger things when they're not communicated. So we encourage you to be giving us feedback on what you're seeing on the job, how you're being treated, any interpersonal issues you might have with a client contact, if you're being mistreated, whatever it might be, the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to know because we can support you, and we can usually work through almost anything with good communication. On the flip side, without communication, things don't always go well. Secondly, trust is a two-way street, and we put a lot of trust in one another when we enter into an employment relationship. And the client also puts a lot of trust in each and every one of you as you go out to the job site. So keep in mind that trust is super important. We have to constantly work towards it. And communication, again, is the key to that trust. We already talked about integrity. Always make decisions that are the right decision. Don't compromise your values to make a decision because you're being pressured or for any other reason. I think that integrity is really important, and we will always support that. And then the last piece is building relationships. It's so key in what we do in the profession that we are servants to the people around us. We have to constantly be building relationships. That doesn't mean that everybody will always reciprocate it, but it means that we're putting the effort in. And when we do that, we usually reap the rewards of it. So with that, I want to transition just a little bit to our internet site, Oz. We called it Oz, kind of following the concept of the Wizard of Oz. If you've seen the movie in the past, if you remember, the wizard is this fella who's kind of behind the drape in the castle, if you want to call it a castle, and he was all controlling, all powerful. And Oz is kind of that for us, where it is that hub, it is that center of information. Anything you need, for the most part, you can find there. If there's something you'd like to see there that's not, let us know and we'll add it. So some of the things that you can find, number one, even though you go through a deployment meeting and you go through the orientation with Corey and Melanie, we're also going to have an orientation program that you can go back to here at Oz, so you can revisit some of those things that you went through really quickly at the point of deployment. Secondly, you'll find lots of different files and documents. Click on that link, you'll see everything from the timesheet that you use to turn in your payroll, expense reports, our payroll calendar, any kind of document you might need. Now, obviously, that's going to be sent out in your new hire emails, but you can always go to Oz and get those if for some reason you lose them. They're available 24/7. Secondly, guides for travel. When you're on the road, where do you stay? We've got links to Airbnb and Vrbo. What are things to do in the town in which you're traveling to? I know that when I'm traveling, I use Yelp to find restaurants. So all those resources are there for you to make it really simple for you to find things to do, places to stay, places to eat, and whatnot. You'll find our accident prevention program on Oz. Our APP is a program internally for our use, and we understand that for the most part, you'll be utilizing the client's APP or safety management system, whatever you want to call it. But, in the event that you have an incident or a vehicle-related accident, whatever it might be, then we turn to our APP. And all those forms and documents are within the program, and they're also attached in the documents file as well. So any questions, let us know on that. There are how-tos. So for instance, if you happen to have a company email for some reason, there's a how-to to set it up on your phone and to set it up in Outlook. So that's a valuable link. Social media links. We have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn pages. LinkedIn's kind of the business platform that most people use. And you'll find really valuable stuff there. We film a weekly video called What's Up Wednesday. We cover a topic, we discuss it and share it. And we encourage you to share ideas of things you'd like to see, but subscribe to that, follow it. You might find something really great for a safety meeting that you can cover. Also, you'll find a bi-weekly blog that we write on a topic, whatever that might be. So all kinds of valuable info on the social media pages. You'll also find the weekly report template. Not every company who does what we does requires a weekly report, but what we're hoping to get from that weekly report is just a snapshot of what's going on your job. What are you covering? What's happening? Were there any incidents? How are things interpersonally with everybody on site? Are you struggling or having issues? Just that basic information. And all you have to do is go to Oz, type in your name. I know that I'm a big fan of using my smartphone, and you can use your smartphone to fill out your weekly reports. I use the little microphone button on my iPhone to talk to text. So you can basically just talk your week right into it and hit submit. It's fantastic. And it gives us a really good snapshot in the event anything goes sideways. You know, we have some documentation there. We have a staff directory page, so you can kind of get to know the different people internally and how they work with you and what you can go to them for. You'll see their email address, their phone number, and kind of the areas of responsibility. You'll find ISS University, which is a great little resource of or repository of things that we've collected that might be of value, as well as links to places like BCSP or ASSP, where you can become a member, pursue certification, things like that. We're very continuous improvement oriented, so we're always encouraging people to pursue certification. And then there's the ISS community. This is a kind of a blog spot, an area where you can share info on yourself, on your job. It's internal only. The only people who can see it are people who work for ISS, but it's a great way to kind of introduce yourself to the field, to the team we have, and get to know one another as you're spread out all over the United States and sometimes even Canada and Mexico. So hopefully this is helpful. We look forward to working with you. We appreciate you having the confidence to go to work for ISS. And I personally look forward to talking to you when you get a chance. I'm available anytime. And again, thank you. And we look forward to working with you. Bye-bye.